Welcome back. Hard Ears Podcast. We bring the hard facts for the hard ears with real vibes. That's all the real vibes today, because we come to talk about some serious stuff that's going on in the country and around our social life. I have two guests today. We have Mr. Jafar Gibbons
Thank you.
and Miss Anita.
Hello.
For the people that don't know you, I would like you to, introduce yourself, give a little familiarity, give the people, let them know. Mr. Jafar,
Yeah.
it's a blueprint.
During the course of the day, I work as a transportation service provider. In Guyana, we call them taxi drivers. And you guys know your taxi drivers sometimes operate as a therapist. People come in your car with a bunch of problems. And then, you're married, you got an active, vibrant, very, at least it looks fun, marriage. So, persons might come and they might seek in advice for various reasons. I also own an online shopping business as well. I do procurement for companies, ministries, and so forth.
See, that's a good thing I asked you for injury. I didn't know you do all them thing, brother.
Yeah. Which is good because people feel they know everything about me from my social.
Exactly. I didn't know, I didn't know it was all that you doing. Because the guy hit you up.
Yeah.
I must need to what you do.
Oh gosh. No, I'm trying to be as interesting as this fellow.
Stop it.
Not competition.
So my classy answer would be Google me if you don't know.
I like that.
But I have two companies. The first one is a management consulting firm. So we do a lot of business development, market feasibility studies, project management, and a lot of that involves working with investors, foreign investors, local entrepreneurs. We do a lot of agency work for them. So, people come to the country and they want to sift through all the regulations. And it can be frustrating, I think, for somebody who doesn't understand the business, the culture, the economic landscape. It can be frustrating for them. So we try to take the complexity of that out of the way and make sure that their time is well spent here in Guyana when they have to come. So that's one arm. And then I have a second company that's a coaching company. So I do neurotransformation coaching. I know you're looking at me like, what?
Yeah, that was not well. It was neurotransformation.
And I do high performance coaching as well. So neurotransformation coaching works on the subconscious mind to reprogram some little things that need tweaking in human beings that adjust their quality of life. Because a lot of what we project or portray onto society is learned behavior from experiences and all of that. And you find that the very first thing that triggers you and creates this internal representation is it's what you take through life.
Yeah.
And you have various things that trigger you. You have external stimulus, and then it just becomes this cycle that goes on and on. So I work to clear a lot of that with my coachees. It's not therapy. Coaches are not
It's
therapy.
sounding like a little bit of therapy.
No, we don't do therapy. We have people for that. But a coach is responsible to get you to your goal. So we will give you tools and strategies to get you to that goal, taking away the things that don't belong there. And in high performance coaching, I'm the only one in Guyana that has both of these accreditations. So I'm a master neuro coach, and I'm also a certified high performance coach. So high performance coaching is the #1 coaching brand in the world offered by the High Performance Institute. I don't know if you've ever heard of this book, High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. So I am double accredited with him. It's my second year running as a coach. And it's this 90-day transformation program, I would say, that really, really aligns you and takes you to your highest self so that you can really show up for your family, for your coworkers, for your other relationships in society, like really get to peak potential. Right?
So basically, we got two guests here today. One body is a transportation service, but he comes into play as a therapist.
Yes.
Because customers and travel with him and tell the problems and what's on. So you hear a lot of stories on a day to day.
I cannot discuss
Yeah.
client.
Can't discuss
business.
clients. Jafar?
Yeah, I can't discuss the conversations, but we do have those.
All right, we can talk around it though. No name. And then we have a high performance coach and a neuro transfer coach, right? So there's something like not a therapist, but it's something in the field.
Yes.
Okay, so good. Basically, we got two people here to give you a little advice on certain issues and things going on around, socially with men and women and in the country and what's not. Right? So my thing is we were discussing today is how did we reach a point where someone could be violated in public and people just pull out their phones and start just videoing. We're talking about the issue that happened at Rago's bar.
Yeah, I led the high performance. Miss Anita, sorry.
I'm just gonna put on that. I'm just gonna be a woman here
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So I actually saw part of the video. I didn't shy away from it because I thought it would be disturbing, but I decided I would look at a part of it. And without me having the bias of the news story, if I were to look at what was going on there, it appeared as if it was something mutually enjoyable, right? I think what alarmed me the most is exactly as you said. How are we living in a society where people are just videoing this thing like we in common porn? Like, where did we descend onto this level of baseless human existence? Like, that was my first reaction to it. Then I read the news story, which had an entirely different angle.
What was the news story that
That-
shed a little different angle?
Well, from what I read, this girl said she was drugged and raped, which kind of seemed completely opposite to what
saw.
the part of the video that I saw. So I was just left pretty confused as to what was the truth.
I often tell people that to me, life is basically how you're socialized. Like everything you see about life is exactly how you were brought up or how you reach to the point where you are at, right? And I say that to say, it's very hard for me to be in a crowd that is acting wayward. It's very hard. Like I can't sit here and see Q doing something stupid that is totally awkward and like violating a bunch of stuff. And I be okay with it. I stop going to certain spaces for that exact same reason. Because I don't want to see myself in a space where a bottle could break and a man lash a man here and a man could pull it on. So to see so many people and like you're saying, out with the phone and find that completely okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like an age group. You can't say, oh, it's a
Yeah.
bunch of kids.
Yeah.
The most you could say is it's a bunch of men. And again, we get paid bad there. And like Anita said, the part she said, it looks consensual. But even if this is out in the public,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So there's so much to unpack there. Honestly, there's so much to unpack there. You could watch that and then you think you kind of think, okay, what doesn't get filmed? You know what I mean? The more you look at it, there's a bunch of other questions like, what is not being filmed at this particular bar? And then you also have to take into consideration the demographic of the area, right? And then the location of the area and what really plays out in certain parts, because you don't expect the same thing to happen at Tribe. You don't expect the same thing to happen at Villaggio or Boardroom or Soho or even Palm Court. Not saying things don't happen crazy there as well. But you see that and it tells you something about the persons who usually frequent the bar as well. And to me is a very deep issues that I think we should really try to dive in, because when you go to areas that are far away from cities, that might be the tipping point. I think at one bar of the East Coast, there was one where the Trinidadian came in and he performed oral on the girl in the party. And all this is on video. So to me now, seeing the video, it might be like, okay, maybe there's a degree of backlash based on what is happening. Because when the girl was getting oral done for her by the Trinidadian DJ, it was filmed, it was cheered on. There wasn't no public outcry. Anita's watching me like, I never know about this.
I know.
You know what I mean? And this happened right. You know what I mean? So we as a public who would lash out against things like these, we gotta be consistent now. Because that too is also wrong. Not because the girl is enjoying herself or not because she is the one being pleased. What happens if it's the reverse and the men are being pleased, but she is not?
Yeah.
You see how big it come now?
Yeah.
So we got to be more responsible. And I always say it's based on how we're socialized, because there's no way a group of men, if they are indeed men, could feel comfortable in a settings like that. And to a point where the phone is out, even the DJ is cheering this thing on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody
That
at
was
no
crazy.
point,
That was the
nobody
biggest point
at
for me.
no point said, look, this is too much. Yo, it can't go here. Look, this is not the place for this.
Yeah.
Even
Get
if
a
she
room.
wants it, you know what I mean? So, there's a lot to unpack, but I think it's maybe a tipping point for us to change the way
Yeah.
we see the world, because, it's different outside.
All right. Why do you think violence against women isn't taken seriously until something goes viral?
It's funny you asked this because I had a conversation over the weekend with someone who is experiencing violence and has been experiencing it for a while, but she always drops the charges. And this is not allegation, like it's happening, and people know that it's happening. And the last time it happened, prior to this time, when it came to the point to prosecute and all that, she dropped the charges, for whatever reason. Now it happens again, and she also wants to drop the charges. And I remember saying, it's like the boy that cried wolf. When it's going to become really serious, nobody will take you seriously because the court nor the police don't like you waste your time.
Yeah.
Right? It then trivializes when there are real extreme cases of women who want something to be done. But then the system generalizes them that, don't worry about them. They're just talking and then they don't do nothing. And yes, that might represent a portion of women like that, but it's not the entirety. The map is not the territory then. So it's a combination of things. I don't think it's a singular thing. But that's just the end result of a more foundational problem, right? It comes back to parenting, values, environment, what's being enabled, what we're exposing ourselves to, what we are committing to be as human beings. And I think it goes back to the individual. It goes back to the individual. Because you have to ask yourself, who am I becoming? What am I creating? What am I standing for? And what is it that I want this world to think about me? Or what do I want to be known about?
What are you enabling?
Right? A lot of people focus on, my why and what and how. No. Forget all of that. You can have all of that and still be creating an entirely shitty human being.
Yeah.
Because some people lose sight of who they are in the pursuit of what they want and why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they're so driven by this self-righteousness and selfish motives that they are not looking at the identity that they're creating. Now, it's as I told you guys, I made a joke, Google me. Well, if somebody Googles me, I'm proud of what they will find. And I always think to myself, I ask some clients, if they Googled you, what would they find? If they go to your Instagram, what would they find? So it's
Don't
an
go to my
identity thing.
Facebook if you want
Don't go to your Facebook. So I mean,
we get in there, Jafar.
it may seem a little bit off of the topic,
Yeah.
but remember that's the end result of a problem that's bigger
Yes.
than just that.
Yes.
So my view is we really have to take a hard look at ourselves as individuals, men and women alike, because you think that there isn't violence against men?
Yeah. I think society is also failing couples as well. I'll tell you what, one thing that you would find, especially with domestic violence, there are not enough professionals to deal with domestic violence cases. And there are not too many people that you can speak to openly and not fear that story would reach somewhere where you don't want it to reach, right? So there is that. I find specifically with women, there is not too many places they can resort to for help. A lot of women in domestic violence cases, they move out of the parents' home or wherever they was living, move with the partner. The partner, for the time being, appears to be stable, at least financially, could provide for you, provide for the child. And then for some crazy reason, and I always say this is crazy because the way my mother groomed us, and it was her alone, a lot of the problems I see, I can't relate to. So when the girl gets problem with the guy and he beats her and the girl tries to go back home, the mother would say, no, this is man, you choose. You gotta stay there. This, like she is saying, like Miss Anita is saying, this is the end result we're actually seeing of a series of action or inaction that is taking place.
A cycle.
And then a lot of the women in those situations too, understanding that, okay, I can't run from this situation. This is the man I choose.
Yeah.
They accept that now because, again, even if the family isn't or the community isn't providing that safe haven, there is not a professional that is readily available. And if they are, you got to call the phone, the land phone, for example, and then you can't get the land phone. That's a whole not issue. So most times these women find themselves isolated in these relationships. And some of them even go back with the partner and produce more kids, which is more crazy now because when kids get produced, hormones get produced, your body change, and he done can't deal with you semi-crazy.
Exactly.
Imagine, and I'm not saying a woman is crazy or with hormonal imbalance, she's even more crazy. I'm just saying all of these things ties in, and then we get to see the end result. We're also not grooming our men. I was telling Darwin
Earlier.
just before the show started, I was like, a lot of girls and boys would say, I don't want a talkative partner. I don't want nobody too expressive in my face all the time. But to me, that is it. Being in a marriage, I want my partner to be expressive. Because when somebody is starved for words and they need to express, particularly frustration, there is no telling what that snap might look like. I saw my cousin with a stammer snap. Imagine he already can't get the words out and now he's frustrated.
Getting those expressing himself.
You know, one time I see his mom hit him and he got angry like he want to fight back. If you see how he swell up. So we go for partners who don't speak. I don't want no man with like talk. But then you get a man who don't talk. But he's upset now. He needs to tell you he's frustrated or he's upset.
Or he needs to show you.
What does that look like for you? Who choose your partner? And I'm saying it's okay. I'm just saying we socialize our men wrong because these men who don't talk don't know to express themselves either. And we and men, it's hard. It's super hard to be a man. Because when you get all of these stress in the world, sorry for being so extensive. When you get all these stress in this world, you're still expected to be okay the very minute. It don't even have to be over. So you as a man already got all these things happening, but you're still expected to go to work, come back home. A woman could text some time out from work. She could call in. I'm saying it's different, men or women. But men are battling so much and they are expected to be superhumans that even if we express ourselves now, he too girly, man. He too emotional. I don't like, you know what I mean?
I think it's get overlooked. I think it's get overlooked.
So when we see the end result, like you're talking about, there's a lot of undertones that you see in there, you be like, damn.
But then they can say that there's no excuse because I seen a lot of gender dates.
It's not that what I'm saying is not an excuse. That's just the end result of all what we see playing out.
A lot of the way you are seeing it in your perspective and the way that you analyzing it and everything, both of you guys, when it don't happen in the end result, nobody want to hear. If you was to actually break it down to somebody, they can be like, yo, me want to hear it all. They want all they see. Is that okay? This man snap and be this girl, kill this girl. But me personally, just like I just want to look at the root, where it come from, where it stem from. If it came from trauma, from when you were small, if there wasn't a father figure in your household to teach you that like we were talking earlier, that you didn't have a father figure in your household to deal with that when a woman get pregnant. This is how it will be. You just know about, a woman that is not, but you don't know that, that when she becomes pregnant,
it's a whole different animal.
A whole different human being.
Yes.
And nobody was there to teach you that.
Yes.
Nobody, you don't know. So now that, you get this now, you can just, up and leave. Yo, me here with the stress, me here with the stress. And you try there and,
But I think aggression all the problems we will have in life. There is a quote that say, a moment patience will save you 1,000 moments of regret. And even too, behavioral analysts will tell you, even before a serial killer does whatever, there's that moment of lucid clarity that they have where you have a choice to make.
Yeah.
If you allow the primary emotion to just drive you, that's the difference between the outcome. But you see, a lot of people don't make it past that.
Yeah.
The primary emotion is what you're thinking to do. Now, without logic, without reasoning, without repercussion, without, oh, if I do this, what can happen? A lot of people never make it to that point. They just act on this, whatever is instinct to them. It's like, okay, let's talk about relationships. What drives violence? A lot of people, cheating is like the thing now. I mean, everybody cheating on everybody.
I love this generation.
Right? This is just the thing. People are like,
It's normal now.
no, it's normal. It's like it's a disposable plate. When you're done with one, you throw it away, you take another one. That's how I think relationships have evolved to, or evolved to, if you will. So let's just say we're in a relationship, right? You got your phone on silent because you're in some meeting. Maybe you forget to tell me about the meeting. So I call your phone. Typical thing. Women call the man phone. If they didn't call one time and they didn't answer, 10 out of calls. Her mind is already running.
He give him
He give him blow. You got some other woman he talking to. It can't be nothing else other than this thing, right? She now done create this like thing in her head. It don't matter what you come to say to her. She's like, She don't want to hear none of it, right? And so is this these suppositions that we create in our mind that it leads to this very dark spiral of intrusive thoughts
Yeah.
where it's so negative that the resentment starts to build. There might be no proof, no nothing, but it's already in the subconscious of that person that this could be it. Now, if one thing remotely close to it happens, does confirmation right there.
Yeah.
And so the aggression comes. Nobody's willing to sit down and just logically think through and say, all right, it could be he's busy. Maybe he can't hear the phone. Nobody descends to logic and reasoning. It's always the negative narrative.
I don't. There's this thing where they're saying that there's enemies versus women. There are women and there are enemies, and some of the enemies are accountability and logic. Logic is a big enemy to women and accountability also.
Some women.
To some women. You see, yes. To some women. You agree, Jafar? You think that a woman, like she just said, no one thinks logically, but women don't think logically. Some women don't think logically. The first thing they're going to go to is their emotion. Yeah. That's the first thing they're going to go to.
Most times, I wouldn't say that for every time, and I wouldn't say that for everyone. But it happens
majority.
A lot of the times. I wouldn't say majority because I've never seen the data. But it's like, I think the nature of women, and I could be wrong, some sociologists might disagree, but I think the nature of women is vastly different. That's why, to me, that emotional aspect comes first. Because even when I talk with my wife, I was like, yo, relax, remove the emotion out of this thing.
I try to do the same thing.
Just look at it on the raw side. You know, earlier we was talking about the breakup, right? And a lot of persons, when they speak of that particular breakup, they get emotionally invested in it about, oh, this guy look like this guy look like that, and you know, it's right, it's wrong.
Selling name with the breakup.
But they run from the point that young couples will break up, or even not even young couples. People will break up. That's just the rational thing. If you get together, you might break up. The possibility exists. Matter of fact, about 50% is the probability of you breaking up if you get together. So to me, I don't think women don't want to be accountable. I don't think they are not rational. I kind of blame a lot of that also on the young men that they are leading or they are following behind if the young man is leading too. Because if you know, like to me, I wouldn't say I got a strong personality, but I don't think a woman would be afraid of the way I lead, seeing how I lead. So if she knows I'm making sense, I don't think she would refuse to take accountability if she know, well, nah, I could trust. He definitely ain't kicks in half of me. Or
exactly.
I don't see myself above him, or I don't think he ain't got the capability to think a certain way. So and I would always say a woman would always take the man's lead. So some of that is true. Some women don't like the accountability. Some women don't like that. But at the end of the day, I see it, I live it. I know if you are providing quality leadership, I don't think she would say, oh, but me wrong. You know what I mean? Knowing that she dead wrong. That's crazy.
Are we failing as a society to hold men accountable though? You think we're failing as a society to hold men accountable?
Maybe to some degree. I think men get old to a higher standard. And to me that's natural. I don't believe we're failing to hold men accountable. I think there's a decay in men and our livelihood. And again, I think that's how we're being socialized, because there's a lot of things that will happen for you as a man that you will encounter for the very first time and you would be shocked. You don't know. Like I got a heartbreak. I was crying for 6 months. That's how hard that hit me, because again, I never grow in a situation where guys would talk about it. Guys would tell you every single thing except the girl will break the heart. They will never tell, or when it happened, they will never tell you what they did.
Exactly.
So when that happened to you for the first time, that is a hard hit.
So basically,
or you might live in home with a girl. She's pregnant. You grow without the father. You went around your uncles, them, or whatever the case is. So you got a girl. All you know, sexing is bring babies. Baby is coming. The girl is pregnant. This is like her first trimester. She's eating all the food in the house. Now you ain't even making enough money. That's already frustrating for you. Because how she could eat out all the food and you don't get no money. But she's pregnant. She's not doing the off her own. Then the hormone starts to kick in. She craving cook up. You can't cook. Learn for cook because she can't get up for cook the cook up. You done cook the cook up. And then guess what she said? Me ain't like this. I need to eat chow mein. So you as a young man would never had these experience. Nobody, even in school, they tell you how the child is produced. They don't tell you nothing else. They tell you the hormones that is required to produce a child. That's about it. They don't teach you how to rear the child. So all of these things as men, we are going through for the very first time. And nobody at no point as youngsters, we ever, hey, my uncle, what's happened if a girl break your heart? What you do, or how that impact you? You never had a conversation. When a girl get pregnant for you, like if a girl get pregnant with me at 17, I run mad. I would run mad, you know, because I grew in a single parent home, and I know at 17 in no way me and you sticking together. So it's like, so how then do you expect these young guys to deal with all of these things that are hitting them for the very first time? School tell you get subjects, go out there, you can get a job. You get all your subjects, no links, you at home, you don't have no job. That is frustrating now for you, because even if you network, sometimes you might not be in favor, you might get luck. So it's a whole nother thing, you know, a young man who is the home. He friend was a dunce in class getting a set of money just because he know the right person. But he just ain't know the right person, but he qualified himself. He don't have a job. His wife is pregnant. He making enough money. A girl break his heart. So he dealing with all of these things back to back to back to back. What we expect, us men, we're not giving the game to each other. Though we ain't telling two youth, man, hey, you know, when you get child, bam, 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 bam. You know,
every time I get a chance, each one teach one, I teach them.
You know what I mean? So we're not doing that enough. We're not doing that enough.
I think there's, because me and Anita we were having a conversation at a time when there's this hidden, mistaken identity between men and women. She was explaining to me that women don't know the place, or these nowadays women or new age women, and the men don't know this, because the other day when I dropped the episode with Mola and the whole thing, I just understand these big men.
Yeah.
Taking up a woman's story, jumping online, giving the views and the opinion.
I saw
and
a
a
guy
man
wrote 3 paragraphs or 5 paragraphs about a breakup. I'm like, what?
and a man going live for tell his side of the story. What age we living in, bro? What era we living in when a man gotta validate this and a man gotta give you the opinion about okay and justifying certain thing as a man. It was like, bro, I would expect these things from women. There are certain things that are for women and there are certain things that are for men. Men should be men, and it derives from, okay, an absent uncle, an absent father, absent, somebody in the household. So if you growing up and all you seen is, your auntie or your mother and all this big views out and taking up, you gonna eventually get up and you gonna go on the social media and say, yeah, I don't believe Mola thing this and anyway, it don't matter if I call name or what's that. But yeah, it just these men needs to grow up and just get a pair of bars, man. Somebody needs to talk to them. But the women, I need to let talk to y'all about this.
So I'm going now. I can be a coach with this. I'm sorry. Unless something is chemically imbalanced in your brain, at a certain age, you have freedom of choice. That is what separates humans from animals, the power to choose. Everybody comes to a point in their life where they get to choose who they are going to become. And in this day and age of information, if you want to know something and you don't know, it's because you don't care enough to know. There is nothing that you want to know that you can't know with a well-executed Google search, YouTube, ChatGPT, you can know.
Even TikTok, where they're born for ignorance.
I am sorry. I have to call it as it is. That's a bullshit excuse. If you want to know, you will do everything in your power to know. So I will summarize it to say, the difference between who you are and who you're going to be is the action you take in between. Where you are and where you want to be. It's like, before I came here, I was in Ogle, Movie Town. There were several routes I could have taken to get here, right? And I thought to myself, what's the least stressful way to get here? Somebody suggested, why don't you go up to Ogle and take the new highway and come down? You will avoid this. And I was like, yeah, I am all for that. So what did I do there? I asked, hey, I need to get to this place in so-and-so time. You usually go up there. What can I do? What did I do? I asked. Or I could go on whatever and let them suggest a route to me. So information is out there. You just have to want it bad enough to do it. Now, I wanted no stress. I didn't able spending no time in no traffic. And I was pleasantly surprised the first time I went down the road, a beautiful road, no stress. I was here in tutus. So I'm saying all of this to say where I was and where I needed to be, there was a journey to get there. Right? And every human being, man, woman, rich, poor, educated, ignorant, whatever it is, must make that choice. Nobody gets to choose that for you. Now, there are people who have grown up in foster homes that have gone on to make the best of themselves. There are people who have been abused, raped, beaten down, rejected. They didn't finish school, gone on to make things themselves. So I'm saying the beginning doesn't determine the end. Where you come from does not have to dictate where you're going, except if you let it be so. So the best advice that I could give is, and this is why coaches are good, because yes, it's all fine and good. All of us got drama in our lives. Every single, that's the essence of human existence, to go through the highs and lows of life. There ain't on nobody that got easy. And just think, if you got life, right? It's your life. I was born and oh my God, this is where I am. Ain't nobody want to hear that. They want to hear when you get your first heartbreak, when your friends left you, when somebody told you no, when you were fired from your job. That's the essence of life. That testimony that really builds you into who you are. It builds character. So we have to stop avoiding pain like it's something so bad. But that's the only time we really grow. The only time you know what you're made of is when that becomes tested. So it's a matter of
growing pain.
It's a matter of perspective. So there's purpose in everything. And if you try to seek out what the purpose is behind even the negatives, your brain will find the answer to it because you'll be focused on the answer to that question. So it's everything that you're saying is true, but we have choices. The thing is, some of us, we want the result, but we don't want to put in the work. You got to put in the work. So you can't be upset by the results you didn't get from the effort you didn't put in. I will not enable that, not in a man or a woman. And then you look over at somebody who is willing to put in the work, whether it's to put themselves out there, whatever they're doing, we don't know. And then you'd be like, oh, bro, you got it easy. Oh, she got it easy. No, how dare you? Don't you dare. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Correct.
Favors is fast because links is important in this country.
Yeah.
But it's not all. It's
Yeah.
not everyone. There are some people who legit put themselves through. So you got to put in the word. And I think that if you want to solve this issue that we have, people need to take a hard look at themselves. And for the young people, you got to imagine you have a child and they have to pull up a story of you flashing your boobs or your booty or whatever. And you think to yourself, you have a daughter and you're going to tell her, well, I did it, but you absolutely can't do it. What kind of hypocrisy is that?
And then kids will do what they see.
So kids don't do what you tell them. It's what you do.
Yeah.
So identity, it comes back to identity. And I think everybody gets to create that on their own. Sure, there are going to be things that happen in life. We think everybody got things that happen.
Exactly.
You think it happening in Guyana alone?
Yeah.
Like y'all don't read news. It's happening all over. But what separates the 99% from the 1% is the 1% dares to do what the 99% are unwilling to do. So you got to decide, you want to be in the 1 or you want to be in the 99.
Yeah, sure.
So, can you give a little insight on we were having a discussion about, you were talking to certain things, but I want you like to discuss it to the people, like the place with women, like the women, they don't know the place and what's not.
So I'm going to put on my minister hat. So I do a little bit of ministry work. I actually facilitate a women's ministry class for Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. And this course is called The Unique Woman. We study 9 books. Until I didn't go through this course, I don't think even I, as a woman, understood my identity because I've had years of that struggle where, I don't think I knew my place or what I was here for. So information is power. Knowledge is power.
Correct.
And it changes the dynamics of everything.
It should change the dynamics.
Well, I want it to. And for me now, like I have to go back to the creation. I'm a Christian woman, so I will speak on what I believe in.
Yeah.
I mean, when God created woman, he created her out of the rib of man. So for me, a woman is a man's rib. Right? There are things that we're created for to achieve individually, but more importantly, collectively.
Yeah.
So women are supposed to be nurturers, comforters. Yes, they can provide. Yes, they can lead. They can do all of those things. But you got to be that divine feminine energy.
Yes.
You have to have a softness and a subtlety about you.
Yes.
That's not to say you can't do your hair, you can't do your nails. I like those things too. But you have to be that softness. That's that real nurturing energy. In life. You can't, you're not here to compete with a man. That's not gonna make you more of a woman.
Right now, these days.
Funny that you say that because I want to quote somebody, but Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, he said in his green book, which is weird because why? What would he say? He said, because he's Muslim, he said, there is no vast difference between a man and a woman. Whatever you think a man could do, a woman could do it. He also said, the difference is one is a man and one is a woman. They're made for 2 completely different things so that they could, like you're saying, they could achieve whatever they want collectively. But it's for 2 separate functions. And I think sometimes when we try to, and I don't really like speak on topics like this because I feel like people get extreme when you talk about femininity, masculinity, man and woman, whatever.
We need to talk about it.
Right, but I feel like that is something that needs to be said. Obviously, we're not the same. That's why God made 2 different beings.
beings.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So how then do we tap in to ensure you're given what you are divinely placed here for? And even if you don't believe in divinity, you are a woman, I am a man, for 2 completely different reasons. So to me, all that needs to happen is, look, the role you play. Men could nurture, but have you seen us try?
Exactly.
Have you seen even
It's
the
very
kids?
hectic.
Even the kids react to a male presence different from a man.
Yep.
My mother beat me all my life. My father never had to beat me. I got last 3 times. But for whatever it was, if me father said, "Oh, move," I am coffee for the next year. There's a statue. He ain't going away. You know, so to me, and to me, that to me is what sometimes we just need to tap into. You know, like my wife, I don't give her no role. Whatever she wanna do, she could do. But she don't try to infringe on what I'm doing just for saying like, it's a big woman, I could do that. You know what I mean? And I don't try to overpower her in certain aspect. You know what I mean? Because again, like you're saying, let her tap into that energy that she is here for. You know, and I think together it's very beautiful if you actually see it. You know, and I feel like I was saying earlier as well, like these are things that we don't see and we don't speak on. So a lot of the times these things are lost because we are not talking about this often. We are not speaking openly. Like some of the topics on my Facebook, people are like, oh, you could say that? Why would you even say this? Like, I'm like, yo, it's taboo maybe for you, but I can say this freely because it is what it is.
Well, I'll say this to see if I can cut in. It's not too difficult. Right? There's no need to fight for identity.
Yes.
Right? Women should be subtle, soft, feminine. There's nothing attractive about a manly woman. Okay?
Preach.
Right? And a man being expressive or crying doesn't make him a womanly man.
It's human.
It's a human nature.
Yeah.
Right? But if forget all of that.
If he cries too much,
Forget all of that. There is one universal rule that I don't care who you be. You need to govern everything that you do by this. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you.
Correct.
You can't give what you can't take. Because you damn well know if you in this situation, you would react the same or worse, or you would want, so you have to have empathy.
Exactly.
You can't, we are too judgmental. Because you know why we are judgmental? To have empathy requires you to listen. You have to understand. You have to try to put. That's like too much work, and it's just easier to judge.
It's easier, yes. It's
and
very
hide
easier.
with your online whatever, and just be there with your 2 cents comment that you don't. I mean, you don't have to think about what you said.
Exactly.
But come on, what is on the internet is permanent. And let me tell you, a lot of people look attractive and seem attractive until you hear them speak. And I'm going to tell you this: if we were all blind and beauty was just defined by the way we treat each other and how we look, a lot of people would be ugly.
Very ugly.
No makeup in the world that could cover that shit. So you just have to treat people the way you want to be treated.
Exactly.
And women want to be heard. They want to be valued. They want to be appreciated. They want to be understood. They want to be included. They want to be empowered. Dude, so do men. We all human beings want the same thing. It's just that we want it in different ways. The 5 love languages. We want things in different ways. Everybody they want to experience joy. People experience pain. They experience betrayal. But it's just the way that we express ourselves or we process pain is different. But everybody is human at the end of the day.
Yeah. Sure.
So
We're talking. You mentioned something about taboo, and it was one of my notes. Mental health is still taboo in Guyana. You think mental health, or in the Caribbean, not just in Guyana. Do you think mental health is like taboo?
I don't think it's taboo. I don't think much emphasis is placed. I don't know if you could say it's taboo. I just think my perspective of mental health is twofold. Like one, I know the cases where it is very important, but I feel most times, especially with this generation, that mental health is an excuse to do so much things. Like from my experience, I'm not saying this generally, but from the things that I've seen and see kids behave with, and we just label, mentally they out of it. I know it's like they don't want the accountability and the responsibility. And I find it very strange because I've been in situations where my mental health was deplorable. Like really, I was out of it.
And then,
But ain't nobody know.
but if you, let me focus you. If you was to address or did that, go to somebody like your parent or something, because I was in that stage where I was saying, "Oh, mommy, my mental health or what's not." You know what they can
as
tell
a
you?
man, oh my
Like,
God.
they can tell you pray about it. So exactly, there's the culture that.
Or
I grew
even
up on.
worse, they would tell you like, yo, we not no mental thing. We did. Buy you
Exactly.
best, like my mother and us, we have real conversation today. And boy, oh boy, her head is, phew, she got mental problem. Like my mom was telling me one time, she was like, she was opening up, we was golfing, it was dark, it was late at night, we were at my apartment. And she was speaking about how the break from my dad impacted her badly, mess her up. So she was like, y'all don't even know when I'm beating y'all, I'm not beating y'all, all I can see is y'all father.
Wow.
So far, and then here now, many times when I got licks, I was always right. But I never stopped arguing my point. So my mom is beating me because you don't got to argue your point. You don't have to be right all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
95% of my licks in my young days was because I was arguing why I was right. My mom tell me like about 4 years ago, we lie down together. She's like, Jafar, many times I beat you is because when I see you, all I can see is you father. You father was a horrible person to me. But you look like he, you talk like he, you laugh like he. Every time now I got see you, this is me heartbreaking all over again, you know. So
Big
it's
up
like,
moms for admitting that though. Big up moms because mothers would, there are some parents would not
so
admit that.
they got their own mental issues that they don't even know it's mental issue because sometimes we speaking at home even today, and she would start just go off on a tandem like this, like yo,
Yeah.
you really like certain things really messed you up for
Bro,
life.
I was trying to say the same thing to my mother.
You know, we really talk it through, but this older generation, like that's older from mine, I don't know, you're probably younger, but this generation that's older than mine, because I'm not current generation, I'm the generation before that. I would never consider myself this generation. But they never had a mental health excuse. So now when they hear mental health, all they're hearing is an excuse. And like I told you, not for the guys and girls today, they are going through a lot of experiences that are first encounter.
Yes.
Nobody told. Now, I never grew with a father, but I had role models. The guys in my community, Akashif Muhammad, Ashama Solomon, Abdul Kadir, different guys that I see putting in the work. And even if I never see them put in the work, these are guys with libraries. So at any given time, and I reading before I learned to write, I reading. So I'm gaining knowledge, but knowledge is not just power. What you do with that, there's responsibility when knowledge kicks in. Because now you don't have the excuse of being ignorant anymore. So you might not grow with a father, but you see the damage it could do. Or even not with yourself, but you can look and see
To
it.
the future.
So then you got a choice. Will you be an absent father? And there's so much things you can do with that. So seeing the kids today, sometimes I buy the mental health issue because you see it with some of the boys, but sometimes you see it and it's really just a cop out for errant behavior.
Also, I think there's a stigma. I think in this new generation, there's a fear of being labeled weak or a mad man or a mad woman. When I tell some young women and young men that, bro, sometimes you need therapy. But as soon as you tell them though, it's a stigma.
Only
like, bro,
crazy people go to therapy.
only
That's
crazy people going to therapy. Like,
why I
bro,
became a coach.
Yeah, and it's not nothing crazy, like, bro. Therapy is good. Nothing wrong with therapy. And there's different forms of therapy. You don't need to go to somebody and pay. You could do there's Google. The information is out there, like you guys said.
Yeah.
You could go and look it up and search like different forms of therapy where you could, go through all of these things that you're holding in and you're trying to suppress. And then when you suppress it, no, it just explode. And then you do the aggression stuff that we were talking about.
So it's coping mechanisms. Any mental health, I'm not a mental health professional, but as a coach, I can tell you that I have to deal with people who are teetering on that edge. So I will have to recommend them to colleagues. And I remember a specific case of a couple that came to me. And I know that the young lady, based on the experiences she put forward in the preliminary session, I knew this girl needed to go see a therapist because there was no way she could go to the end of the road without clearing the gutter. It's like if they got a tree across the road, you gotta move the tree, or else the car can't pass. And she needed to move that tree. And she came from a family that thought if you go to see a therapist, you're crazy. And this girl trip out. She's like, "You're calling me mad?" And it was like, bro, it's not even that serious.
Yeah.
But it's because it's this bias that's sold that only mad people go to a therapist. I've had therapy. I mean, I was married before, and that when my divorce came through, listen, I almost had a mental breakdown because I had a high power job and I was really struggling emotionally, and I had to have it all together at work. And it's like you said,
Yeah.
that's why you have to be kind. I think kindness and love have to be the thing that we propagate in society. Because I don't care what somebody posts, what they pretend, what you think you know, what they tell you. You never know the truth about another human being. You know what they want you to know. And then you know how you perceive what you think you know.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Yeah.
I work on the assumption there's something that you're going through that I don't. Be kind. Look for the cues. Sometimes it's good. Some people just want you to listen. They don't need you to advise them. Okay, well, if I was you, boy, if I was you, I stop listening right away or stop talk right away. If you are like that. Sometimes some people just want to unload. And when they vomit all that poison, they're good. They just want to unpack it. And I feel like that's where you're right. In your social circles, in your family circles, in your friendships, you just don't have that anymore. People who just listen, no judgments, no advice. Just this is the best two words that you could say to another human being who's in that level of pain is, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. And that should be followed by, is there anything I can do to help you through this?
It might be expensive.
Regardless. What is expensive?
No,
you see,
just-
there is the
no,
cost.
just- yeah.
There is not for me. I mean, I'm saying just generally.
Yeah.
You see, cost and expense is a relative thing. There is always the cost of doing something and there's the cost of not doing it. You
Correct.
gotta ask yourself which price you rather pay. Everything costs something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything costs something. So I believe that it's about coping mechanisms, and you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to have a ritual or a routine that every day you're replenishing the hormonal balance in your brain, because you have the two main things, dopamine and serotonin, which is why I go to the gym. I gotta have that hour to two where I'm doing nothing for nobody but me and this body.
Is that a form of your therapy?
It's a form of therapy. That's why they say gym is therapy.
Yep.
But why? It's even chemically so. It replenishes
correct.
your dopamine.
Correct.
So, I mean, happy people don't make people miserable. It's miserable people that make other people miserable,
That's why it's a misery love company.
right? So you have to have that. Practice your little meditation, your little yoga. Drink your water. Mind your business. Start a business. Mind that business.
Play Ludo online.
Right? You know? So I mean, it's you have to have your self-care routine, because we're all giving. Every day of our life, from the time we wake up, we're giving. We're giving. We're giving. And if you don't know how to replenish your bank, you're gonna go bankrupt.
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody has to do something for their mind, for their body, and for their soul.
I just
And
play
only
Ludo.
you can do that.
Lulu.
Whatever it is.
I pray a lot. That's me. I pray a lot.
It's pray. You can listen to a good podcast like this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can read a book, take a course, take a walk, and just you got to do the things that, as I said, are in support of the identity that you are trying to create. You have to be intentional. God put us on this earth with purpose.
Yeah.
What a
Miles
disservice
Monroe
you would
said
do to just exist. I mean, come on. We are better than that.
You know, I was telling Darwin just before we started that every successful person, there's one thing in common you would find with every single successful person. They got a library. They got a
Leaders are readers.
You can't go. I promise you this. Even if they never read anything in the library, I promise you this. Every single successful person got a background of books that is crazy. You know what I mean?
Books in me, man. I got a couple books.
And I would always encourage people, read. It helps you. Even I don't really like tell you read novels, because my books is non-fictional. But even novel helps with your creative thinking.
Yes.
It helps stimulate your
Storyline,
brain.
yeah. Yep.
It puts you in a different zone. So, if you're young and you're watching this, there's nothing harmful in reading. As a matter of fact, it's the most powerful thing you can do, because then somebody can't come and tell you something and you're just swayed by it because you know. It's
Yeah.
easy for come and tell Darwin, hey, this guy is black, buddy. you know, or tell Darwin anything. But Darwin has the knowledge now. Darwin ain't know where the sky black.
Exactly.
I seen it, I read in it, I live in it. Everybody seen it blue. It can't be black. So I would always tell persons, read. You want all of us got one goal and desire to be better, to be successful. You know what I mean? And if the successful persons in this world are reading, who are you? You know what I mean? Who are you who now coming up? Not like you're not anybody, but your goal is to get there, and you know it could start.
Maybe try that way.
You gotta seek out mentors, coaches, because you know you're not reinventing the wheel here. If the goal of a young adult, and I guess many of them are looking at this episode, your goal is to make a name for yourself. You got to create legacies. What do you want to be known for? Because whatever you do or don't do in this life, when you're dead and gone, people can remember you for all 2 months or something. But you want something that outlives that. At least that's what I want for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't in my 20s, but 20s be
You can
20.
pass. You can pass. You can pass.
You ain't gotta lie.
You look like a 22.
You ain't gotta
They
lie.
give me a
But I'm
22.
saying, I'm saying, when you've lived out your youth, which ends at 25, and you're now entering into, well, what am I gonna do? Who am I gonna become?
Are you saying I'm old?
No, I'm saying when you get
It's
to
a
that
past
stage.
25.
Yeah. But that's how you gotta think.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And like I said, you have to see who has done what I have done, what I want, who has done before me, what I want to do, and how did they do it. That's why when you read like people's biographies and stuff like that, and they'll tell you their struggles and how they navigated around that, that's where learning is. That's where learning comes in. So go online, get a famous biography.
Malcolm
And
X. If you're watching this, Malcolm X got a powerful autobiography. That is, Malcolm X biography, crazy.
Right.
If you can make it out like that, if you can become a Malcolm X from that, trust me, there's absolutely nothing in his life that you can't become.
I want to recommend a book. If you're listening to this, there's a very thin book. I think it's maybe 100 pages. Everything begins and ends in the mind. It's why I studied neurolinguistics, the language of the mind. I'm fascinated by how 10 people can hear the exact same thing and have 10 different perceptions.
Yeah.
It's the filters in the mind.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it. I always seek to understand why a human is the way they are. That's like such a discovery for me as a coach. And there's a little book called As a Man Thinketh. And this book is basically showing you how your thoughts are creating your identity. But that is essentially it. If you think on something, as a man thinketh.
You get 4 books. You don't tell me you get 4. So you get 5.
As a man thinketh.
I got it. It's very thin.
Atomic Habits, another one. Really good. It's just how to develop good habits and how to replace the ones that are not serving you. The other one that I would highly recommend, if you're talking about books now, to help you with your mental health is The Power of Now. A lot of people are living in anxiety because they are so worried about what hasn't come yet. I'm stoic. I deal with it when it reaches to my door. If it didn't happen, I don't have no evidence.
So you got a few Ryan Holiday book.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. And so the power of now is to live in the present moment, because we can't go back and undo the past. You could bitch about it. You could harp on it. You could ruminate on it all you want. It's gone. You can't do nothing about it. All you can do is decide what you're gonna do about it. But the future ain't come yet. And some people, they're so caught up in what they're gonna do, they don't enjoy where they are. They don't remember to be grateful for what they have. It just takes away joy out of your life when you're living in that. So the power of now is like a really
throw the
great
talent
book.
code in there as well. If you can read Power of Now, As a Man Thinketh, and the other book, the
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits, you might well read the talent code, because that also show that, ain't nobody born with no talent. It's just where you put in, you're getting out.
And my recommendation is a book you should read is A Way of the Superior Man. As a young man, The Way of the Superior Man.
Yay! I see what you did there.
I see what you did there. You ain't no relic.
That was good. That was good, David. That was good. That was good. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Maybe a good thing that isn't really done is book clubs used to be like this thing with them old ladies with the bonnets we doing, but young people need to have book clubs.
I tried it virtually, and part of it is that I read more than everybody else because I got active library and my library grows every month. So I might be reading and then nobody else is reading. And some people read and then some people get lives too busy. But me life busy too, but I might thief a little 15 minutes,
And
read a page,
listen,
So,
people are not busy. People make time for what they want.
Well, that's true. But I don't
Busy
want to say
is a
anything
lie.
bad about anybody.
No,
They're
you
too
talk,
busy.
bro.
No. We actually have a book
It's
club, and we might
hard
say,
ears.
okay, this month we're reading this book. It can last for 2 months. We can read a chapter a day. We can read 10 pages per day. It can last X amount of time. But I don't want to bash anybody. Some people work demands more of them. Some people get kids, whole bunch of stuff. I might not be operating under the same variable as everybody else. So I might read a 2 chapter, 3 chapter and finish. But
isn't this just what we are discussing?
Yeah.
This is how mental health declines. When you are so busy, and I'm going to tell you, if those same people had 1 hour left to live, half the shit they spend in daytime on isn't going to matter.
yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, in the final analysis,
Yeah.
is what I'm doing now going to matter? Is it going to matter in 5 years? You would be amazed at how much time, if you dissect your time, you waste on things that don't matter or will not matter in the context of what you say you want to do and who you're trying to become. You waste a lot of time. Now you're telling me you're too busy to have time for yourself. I can't with that. And then when you land up in the problems, I'd be like, who's going to do it for you?
Yeah.
Who's going to do it for you? Somebody. You don't have time. We make time.
Yeah.
Time is a created thing. It's a created thing. So you have to manage your time and you have to eliminate. That's what the book of Atomic Habits is like. Examine your life and see what are the things that are really not serving you.
Yeah.
Trust me, there are many.
Yeah.
Like I could tell you, sometimes I go down the rabbit hole of, I'm going to look at this one thing on YouTube. And it could be educational as hell.
YouTube
But
is
you
a
know
beast.
it's never
YouTube is a
one thing.
beast. Yeah.
Then your
the
phone gonna
auto
be
plays
girl,
bad. The auto
the
plays
algorithm
bad.
now. And you'd be like, okay, one more. Then it's you at 3 a.m. looking at the podcast on scientists telling you why it's important for you to be in bed at night.
My barber is like that. My barber, oh my God, why you talk so story?
So you gotta invest in things that are going to allow you to cope better with when challenges come. God, they will come. That's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you have to ask yourself, how am I readying myself?
Yeah.
Like before you go and drive on the road, just jump in and drive. You got to prepare.
Yeah.
Pray,
So
fast, eat.
I like how you tore it now, because the next topic is to be why guy is so angry. What was the cause for all this road rage? This is the last topic.
I honestly believe,
As a driver,
I honestly believe Guyanese don't know to use the roadways. And I know there are instances where persons could not go to class, still possess a license. I know there are persons that
I
will tell
love the way
you.
he said that. Oh
I
my
know
God.
there are
So
persons that will tell you that Guyana ain't get corruption, it don't exist, it's a myth. Let me tell you something. It's stressful for me because I went to class to get me license because I'm too old. You not know, go and write your exam on a computer and get a professional.
Better go buy coffee.
We have to go by, no, we not to go
By
to
CWAL.
We have to go by CID,
CID,
by training school. Sit down in class for about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Memorize all them signs,
I
all the
think I see
meaning.
Yep.
Then get the exam.
Yep.
So when we come on the road,
Get your little blue book.
no, right. So now, to be honest with y'all, I might be one of them errand drivers based on which they see me. But I became like that because there's no way for you to cope as a driver who learn in class because everybody is doing some crazy things. People don't know if you're on the right. Like people don't know. Like this is the intersection. People don't know if there's a line to cross that road. They have to wait and allow this line that's going straight over to go because if they go, they will block that pathway because there's a line there. Say you at a traffic light and it runs into the cross street.
Yeah.
You don't need a traffic box for that. That is common courtesy, consideration, caution, everything. It's only in Guyana you would find somebody block you pathway to drive, even though they know they can't move.
Exactly.
I was telling my friend was telling me he's from Texas, and if he's at an intersection with about 8 curves that you could turn and go to, and there's a stoplight and it's red, as long as you're going right, you can go. And if you sit and think about that as a Guyanese, you'd be like, no way we surviving the turn. That is because we got roundabout with 4 exit and 3 exit. And you understand what I'm saying to you? You know,
Man,
so
I have patience
you see it, and a lot of it is a lot of the persons on the road don't know. They're
don't
not
have the knowledge.
educated on driving. They think driving is moving the car from
Point A to point B.
park to drive, and the car is moving, they're steering. That is driving.
And a lot of frustration is seen with the drivers and everybody.
You will
they
get
in
frustrated.
And everybody they in traffic, and soon as somebody do something, one man jump out the car and stab up one man. And
But imagine how frustrated you gotta be to jump out of your car for find somebody who's jumping out of their vehicle in the height of traffic.
yep.
So now I'm the third vehicle behind all this. I gotta sit down and watch all of this. And then let's say, for example, indeed it end up fatal. You get bore up, you end up dying.
It's a crime scene.
No, nobody can move. You understand what's
It's a
going on
crime
there?
scene.
Police hauling all of
It's
y'all.
a crime scene.
You understand what that is crazy.
Yeah.
But it happens because everybody's doing their own thing. Sometimes you're behind a vehicle and you know it's a woman in the vehicle. Not that woman can't drive. But there are certain crazy instances on
Yep.
the road
Yo.
where you guarantee the person in front of the wheel is
It's a woman.
behind the wheel is a
Me and he
woman.
was talking
It's a
about it.
woman.
We got partners and we try to say, yo, the woman, the person that driving and does do the nonsense, I bet is a woman. And they be like, no, how you know it's the? How you gonna say? Or they gonna say it's sexist.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time, by the time you pull up, is a woman.
My percentage is 100. I just want you to know.
Ah,
I don't even
90.
get it wrong. Like, if you're on a right to way and the vehicle in front of you stop to allow 50 vehicles to pass and they're on the right to way, I can assure you when you pull in front, there's a woman behind the wheel.
So consider it like that.
Yeah,
That
but
is- I mean,
you can't bring you
Part of
consider
it is consideration, part of it is fear.
Is it?
I'm telling you, there's nowhere you're on the right to way and you watch 15 vehicle and I'm on breakdown. Almost every cross street that runs into breakdown gotta wait. You know what I
And
mean?
this one now, man, come overtake you.
Overtake now for show you that you could actually go there, gotta wait. And I was
Exactly.
like, seriously?
So if
And then people
everyone
say you do
did that,
stubbornness.
imagine now you're the person in the 12th vehicle, not on the right way, and a woman doesn't stop.
She's on the right to way. If she goes,
No,
I
I
by
know.
default I gotta wait.
I know, but
You done what?
sometimes
No,
you gotta
you know
be
when you see the craziness of
conscious.
that, some vehicle will have to stop. You know where you see that particular craziness? If you're on Middleton and Lamaha, just by May School, there's an intersection from Lamaha and Middleton
God.
Street.
Ain't nobody
And there's a
stopping.
bridge there.
Yes.
Not for the women that got turned onto the bridge. It's a nightmare to make that turn. And there now,
Yeah, they got caught.
the man get them X-Trail, Qashqai, some big vehicle, Audi Q5. So even for Meg, the turn is already difficult to make to go on to Middleton. So now they get a big vehicle and they could drive the Tacoma, they could drive the Toyota Carina, you know, but they want to drive the big vehicle. Car. Me man, give me this vehicle. Or sometimes they buy the vehicle. Don't let me say women can't buy their own vehicle, right?
Yeah.
But you will see that, and some vehicles will have to wait, right? A woman with God is so scared, especially if she got to turn into Middleton. Oh my God, if you're behind her. But I'm saying, even the vehicles that are going, somebody got to stop to allow that. Police don't need to come and tell you that. Consider it. 10 vehicle pass, we 10 pass, and that will happen all morning.
Yeah.
No police need to come. But guess what? The 11 vehicle see the 10 vehicle go and he mash he X straight into the back of the vehicle
Exactly.
because he needs to go as well.
Exactly.
You know, so
No
we don't drive with
patience.
consideration.
Well, you see, all you're describing is the end effect of whomever. This, and I mean, if it offends you, that means there's truth in it. No, not you.
Oh, okay.
But to any listener that is offended by what I have to say, a lie never offends you. It's the truth. So if whatever I say
Like
hurts
the
you to
gym
the
now.
heart,
Like that.
Is it this
you
level?
gotta ask yourself, what truth are you denying? So here is it. I know that junction. I think it is ludicrous to believe that a little piece of bridge could take off that traffic at a school and whatever. I feel that the intersection of itself, let's just zero in on that, could have been planned better. It is incredibly chaotic at certain times of the day.
If they get school
and
up.
let me just put it here.
Yeah.
In Guyana, I believe the stop sign is like an optional thing.
Wow.
Because
Oh my, it's the only country with a stop
bike
sign mean go slow. I swear.
At the junction to my office the other day, a bike man, now mind you, I got the right of way. So I go in there. And this bike man, so I honk my horn because he ain't riding into my car. 'Cause first of all, he ain't gonna fix it.
He ain't got no money and I
got
bet
money.
he ain't got no
So
people
I
for the
said,
bike.
Lord, let me just honk my horn on him. This man looked like he won't come off this bike, and how dare you? He wrong and strong, as Granny would say, right? So one, people just there is either the know and they playing like they know, or they just
We
that
don't have stop
want
sign
and
here.
disregard.
There's no stop sign
There
in
is a
Guyana.
stop sign at that junction.
No, there's no stop sign in Guyana.
No stop saying Guyana.
There's none.
Okay.
There's
Even though
none.
it's
To what I'm
There's
saying.
none.
They're
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I mean, it's like stop if you want to stop.
Yes. Yes.
Very
Everyone
optional.
Yes. Yes.
So nobody takes that moment to observe their environment. And that junction is particularly frustrating.
Yes.
When you you let one man goes, all them going. All of them going. So I think to solve that problem, because that's the end result, it is
Yes.
there. And what you enable will continue.
Yes.
It's lawlessness on the roads.
Yes.
And if we don't take a stand and to criticize it, you're not solving anything. I think a lot of people think they sound really smart by making somebody else sound really stupid. You're just as stupid as them if you're only highlighting their stupidity.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make you better to show that somebody is doing something wrong.
Correct.
You got to come to me with a solution. I don't like it. Well, this is what I suggest. So I believe there are some junctions in Guyana that have too many traffic variables that lend to congestion and poor driver decisions simply because people don't want to wait.
Yeah.
Everybody in a hurry.
Yep.
Nobody don't stop
So
by the stop
nobody
sign.
wants to wait. And so understanding that human behavior can be erratic when their patience is tried.
Correct.
We need to plan better.
Yeah.
So it might require that whomever is tasked with looking at our road network and intersections, maybe deciding where some streets can take off one turn and where it can be diverted. Like, for example, can we talk about one-ways and how, like, does become, like, an option too?
Today a
I
guy
was driving-
drive in the one way. I'm like, you can't see the one way you driving into.
No, flashing me. So I stopped my car. I said, sir, it didn't occur to you that everybody's going that
One
way.
way.
And you alone coming this way that maybe, just maybe.
Today a guy drive into my one way. I wind me. I was like, yo, one way. When you like, there's no indication that this one way is going both ways. There's a sign that's saying one way, and then every
And how the
vehicle,
street is.
people only coming out to the
Exactly.
The cars are parked in one direction.
Exactly.
But he's like, nah, man. Maybe.
Bye. Some
So-
days I just
It
don't want to come on the road.
It has me frustrated.
Some days
It
I
is-
just don't want to
Then
come
the
on
air
road.
bikes, they just land upon you.
That's
Those
a-
bikes that
Electric
any and everybody
bike,
electric
Oh
bike.
my God.
They
I
just
got
land
a friend
upon
that's
you.
posed by electric bike and you know, 90% of the electric bike is a Spanish ride in it.
That's right, it is. 90%. 90%.
Why you gotta go
It's
there?
not,
No,
it's not, it's
true,
fact.
it's so true.
It's so
And
true.
sometimes it's true them on the bike. And the bike don't make no noise. The light
They
is
just land
bad.
upon you. And just, they
They
just dart out in
come
front
out
of
of
you.
nowhere.
Don't let us scratch your car. I just want to tell you, when bike man scratch your car, the people never in order. They never got insurance.
There's
They
a
don't have
dent.
no
Speak
money.
English.
There is a dent on the back door of my car from some bike man that I don't know, but probably was bobbing and weaving through traffic. And I just left in it there because by the time I fix it, some idiot gonna
One of them hit my car and drew and right away. I'm like,
It didn't even. You won't go to the police saying, "Oh, is it?"
what I can do though? Tell me what I can do. Don't hear the man pull in the car and let me talk. Watch me like a little idiot. I make some man bust through Middle Street by pace. You can drive through Middle Street with you can't Middle Street thin son. Not Middle Street, Middle Road, brats.
No, but the reality is, by some admission the other day of well, you could estimate it. We're at what, PAL, somebody now.
Yeah, PL.
Yeah,
My car
okay.
is a PAD, and I bought it just about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So from PAD to PL, mathematics,
Yeah.
let the maths.
Yeah.
It's a lot more cars.
Yes.
So
Need
yes,
more
we
roadways.
have, and we have more roadways. But is it that
Planning.
these cars are from new drivers? Is it that old drivers are replacing their old cars? I don't know.
Some
what
of
the
them,
statistic is.
PAG, if y'all looking at this, PAG, the series, all of the drivers are new drivers. They can't drive. Oh, my God. Plus, I would like whoever is watching, the authorities watching this, I would like them to do an audit of that series.
The PNG series.
It is oh my God. A customer jump in me car there and say, you don't like the PAG drivers either? Because you just see it the way they use it. I honestly believe everybody with a PAG vehicle is brand new drivers.
Not
Lanzo
you
CPU
creating
is
this.
one of them. Huh?
But then again, it comes. Okay, so this is the problem. We have too many new cars, and like you said, many new drivers.
Yeah.
And you also alluded that they perhaps got their license in questionable ways. They may not have gone through the rigors that
For sure.
Other people
PAG by
did.
their license. That is I am I
that-
will
that-
for bet. I will
Without
for
a
bet.
doubt.
Oh my God.
So it begs the question, how can we dissuade this behavior? So in other countries, the insurance has this like point system, or your driver's license has this like point system
Correct.
that if you get a certain number of demerits or whatever you want to call it, then you
It's
just got to be
suspend.
taking a taxi.
Yeah.
Or like your premium goes up or something. Because you have to, I mean, the time or the penalty got to match the crime. If we're too soft, people gonna be like, "Psst, that's like when you get licks in school.
Yeah.
Ever, this
Just do it again.
licks is born and cool. You take
Yeah.
your licks anything. But if it is stringent enough, you might think twice before doing it, because then it's all on you. If you want to get into it, you can get into it. So I think it's a call for the authorities to truly examine one, and we need to be a more statistics based society.
Yeah.
We speculate too much. Too much people give their mouth liberty in this country on no evidence whatsoever, but just on what they think, what they hear, and what they see. That's not facts. That's speculation.
Yeah.
All right.
But we need to have stats that drive continuous improvement,
Yes. Correct.
because you will never know how something will work until you put it into practice. But there has to be a measured way, and you can't change or you can't improve what you can't measure.
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be that.
Well, time is upon us.
You know?
Thank you for having us, Jafar and Miss Anita. It was a great conversation. It was a great
Yeah.
episode. I really loved this episode. Hope to have you back next time. Next time on Hard Air Podcast.